Alright, I got to blabbing once again, and I neglected a few points that I wanted to make here about the toilet. Because of its location, the opening in the floor that I took, I wanted right on the center of the first floor joist, and that, like I said, put it on the center of the toilet connection. It works out because I want to be able to attach this flange to the subfloor in a meaningful way, and then do all of my plumbing to it and out to the black water tank without it wangling around in space. It's nice to make access like this, but then you have no registration for where anything needs to land. I need this to be registered in this aspect, and this aspect, and I can do that by screwing it right to the floor. So I knew my center line was at 12 inches on this cut at 12 inches. So I could drill in with the hole saw at 4.5, which is the outside diameter of this, and make a socket through the subfloor. I just didn't have anywhere to put my center point because I'm off the, in theory, I'm right on the very edge, half of the bit in the material, half of the bit out. So I just scabbed on a 2x4 with a couple screws, enough to start the drill bit in, and I proceeded through the subfloor only, took that piece out, and now I can take the subfloor out. But then I can attach this guy, I could screw him right down to the floor in a couple spots, and then work to him. I can see underneath, I can work above and below. He lives in this particular place, and then when everything gets put back together, there'll be an order of operations, whether I leave it off and then come back underneath when the subfloor's on and weld it and then screw it down to everything, whatever. But anyway, I'll have that option available to me as a result of doing it this way, which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And then our vent, we had a little slight kerfuffle here, not to overly use that, is the local music festival, and it's been non-stop kerfuffle this, kerfuffle that. Get your kerfuffle tickets. We're live at kerfuffle on the radio for months now, and now that it's over, everything is how much fun was kerfuffle. Here's some of the artists that played there. So I'm just... Anyway, we rolled down, we bent over. Now I just wanted to go over here and get out from underneath the window and go up and go out, but I forgot the panel is going to be here, and a panel is 14 inches roundabout, 14 1/4, whatever a bay is wide, almost like a vanity, to fit into a conventional wall bay. So this whole space is going to be unavailable to us to go up. So I had to go even farther and turn and go up here to vent out. And then I'm going to run into my electrical box, which I've already moved over to this side of the stud from its other location, which is why there's a hole here. I changed my mind, this being too close to the wall going that way inside the room, so I moved it over. Now I'm going to want to move it over to this side, and it'll live right underneath the panel. It'll be the hottest home run. It'll be the shortest route, boom, right to that outlet. However, then I can go by with my vent, and he'll be out of the way, and I can go up. And at that point, it might be worth coming over and jumping and tying into this one going out and saving myself. The only reason I was going to go straight out was because we thought we'd leave this homosote and exposed rafters here. In the bathroom, we are going to drywall it, mostly to cover this ugly vent, and this had a water leak here, and it's been repaired. It's not homosote. There's some plywood and whatever. But this is perfect vintage homosote and lumber. So just a little stub going through there, you may not notice. But if I run up and try to catch that vent, we'd have to cover it. So I'm going to have to run by the client. But when I go down through the floor here and I sweep this way, I figure that I'll just head right over through and catch. Here's our shower base. I'll go right underneath the shower, so I'll wait until that's all stubbed down and I have that elevation. But I'll shoot for that to come through at fall and catch into that right with a T or a Y I'll have to do there or what have you, but then I can continue over. And our sink used to be over here, and the drain for that was going to have to come down and come over. But I see now, if you look at the plans, we moved away from a swinging door in the bathroom. We moved to a curtain. So in the bathroom, we'll just have a curtain here, which makes the door less stupid, or we'll have a sliding door maybe too. But anyway, the sink, it makes far more sense here than here, because here is right in front of the doorway. You open it up and pow, right with your left hip, the sink's right in your business. And look at how close it is to the toilet when you sit there. So we gain a little distance from the toilet. It could be a slightly larger sink. You could reach out if you're drunk and taking a shower, and for some reason you don't want to puke on your feet, you can puke in the sink from the shower. There's a variety of different pros that we gain. I believe we're going to move the sink over, which would put that right in the wall with the existing vent, so we could catch that vent. He'll be going right by, and we just jump over and vent the P-trap, and then keep right on going and catch the sink, kitchen sink. But then there would be nothing over here other than toilet. Everything, washing machine to our left, shower, sink on our right, would all start here and run in that direction to drain, which is nice. If you can limit how far reaching your furthest piece of equipment is, if you can tuck him in with everybody else, that's a best practice there. So we talked about how I mounted that flange and how we might move the sink and how the vent needed to be moved because of the sake of the panel. And then there was another thing that I was going to talk a little bit about that I'm drawing a blank on right now, and I don't know what it is, but sorry, I'm running out of oh, here it is here. We had a little snafu here where we drilled on center for this because I was going to, like I said in the previous video, take this whole trap and drain assembly and go under the floor. It makes no sense. Now I have a big ugly hole here, and it really, really bothered me overnight. It bothered me that I made such an error. It drives me crazy. But I forgot that if you get a different sized hole saw, that one of the nice things about the hole saws start at like 20 bucks each, and some of these bigger ones are 40 or 50. Anyway, I own basically every sized one, but the negative out of a slightly larger hole, you know, the one that came out of here would fit with the kerf left from the saw blade. But the negative out of the next size bigger, he goes in like a plug, basically. Shoop, tight. So, honestly, if I didn't tell anybody, I would put a little wood glue around the edges of him, and I'll send him down in there with the grain oriented in the same way as this piece of lumber, and he's got a little bit of a ragged edge on the top that would break up that visual sight line, and if I didn't tell anybody, nobody would ever notice. So that's a cool little trick. I will install him, and I may, in fact, the hole is even splintered up, so I may mix up a little sawdust first and glue and put it in from this side and let it fill to there, and then shut those little splinters, and I'll put them in here. Pow. And the fact of the matter is, it makes me feel better that nobody will ever know I made that error, except for everybody that sees this video. But also, this is a little critter portal that invites Mr. Chipmunk and Mr. Squirrel to come and visit, and so now they won't be any more welcome than they ever were, basically ever again. So there's a clever little scenario there. You can put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, that's that. We'll see you.